Yeah.
What is going on, all you hooligans out there? This is Jay Hooligan with Hooligan V.
I can
Says
say
hello.
my name.
I know you can say your name. Go ahead and say your name.
Hi guys,
Yes.
Hooligan B.
Cheers. We're drinking Aurora Hopialis by Carl Strauss. Today we're going to review hopefully a better film than the two that we had reviewed earlier this week on our Facebook Live.
Wait, what film are we reviewing right now?
Oh, I don't know. We gotta look for something. That's anime. That was back on there. That was a Netflix version on there.
Maybe we should watch Netflix. What is it? Death Note.
I've already seen it. Yeah. Anyways, we just got back from a meeting with a potential client, and we started discussing the ability to switch hats. And I know that we do quite a bit with film, and I've held at least almost every position on set, so at least once, and it's been a long few years being able to build my skill and try to find where exactly I fit in. And Hooligan V was mentioning how I'm coming off of editing and going back into story development, which is where I feel my bread and butter is, because editing is essentially storytelling in a visual medium. So again, it kind of went back into like the whole switching hats idea, and that's something that I've always kind of held on to and tried to tell other people. Like, in the indie film world, everybody is pulling multiple jobs all at once. I get it. Everybody has to do it. It's like, unless you're down in Hollywood or in a major film area, you're gonna have to pull on multiple hats. Now the problem is not necessarily holding multiple hats, but what a lot of indies we find is they want to hold multiple key positions all at the same time. Now again, also nothing wrong with that. However, it is important to note that when you're pulling on things that have a lot of responsibility all at once, most of the time you're gonna lose some sort of quality in all or one of those areas. I know, because I've done this before. We've both done it.
Yeah.
Doing directing and producing and script supervising all at the same time. Being the writer. Well, writer, yeah, you're still gonna have to do that.
But it makes it hard to kill your darlings when you're in control of everything.
Yes. So
you're not seeing the bigger picture.
Absolutely. And that's one of the traps that gets into, and that's why we had that other video out beforehand about killing your darlings, because you're so close to and involved in a project, you think that every idea is gold. And the truth of the matter is that we can tell a better story than I can. What that means is, like, I can tell a story, but if Hooligan V and I are working on a story together, it'll come out 1,000 times better. Now imagine that with a group of people as your keys, not just one perspective, but hundreds of people coming together to make a film, make a story. And now you have all these blockbuster movies that are coming out that have that and that do that all the time. They make smaller decisions. They're not all wearing the same hats. They're individual. They're compartmentalized into doing what they specialize in.
Making it the best that they can make it in their whatever department they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to adding production value.
Yes. And that's something like I know you've seen when I direct, when I'm switching, when I didn't have a script supervisor, I would switch. Yeah, it would take me a second. I would have to when she'd ask me about scheduling for, like, say, cutting down shots, or can we cut this, can we combine these, etc., etc. I'd have to literally step out. I would literally step out off set to be by myself, to go switch hats, to literally switch hats mentally, to go, okay, story, shot, what is this side? Is it going to be continuous? Can I combine it? Where's my eye line? Is it what's going to match? What am I going to cut to? Because I'm coming from an editing position from the whole thing, even coming to it as a director, it's still very, very important. So I had to mentally do that to switch out. And that's something, again, that I also tell people. If you're going to wear multiple hats, you have to be able to be, one, proficient in all those hats that you're wearing, and two, know when to switch them. because that's a huge important one
I
too.
think a lot of people don't like to recognize that, but that's something like even you recognized in me. It's like for the longest time I had the hardest time switching from writer to producer. And a lot of the time I was more in producer mode, like this doesn't make sense, it doesn't work, and then story wise it was just so choppy, it didn't flow well. And then I think what it was is that just focusing on whatever you're doing first and then analyzing it afterwards.
Yeah.
Was one of the things like I had to learn. It took me a second.
Yeah, the critical review, and that's again why the dynamic that we have working as partners and then bringing in other business partners as well, we let them know from the get-go, like that's how we run it. And it's not that we can't do everything, it's like we can and we have, you know, that's what's given us the experience to go, oh wait, there are better ways to do it. So being a key, whether you're a producer or a head of a department or anything, knowing when to relinquish responsibility and to trust your crew to take on that responsibility or to lead them to a place to where they can do their job. You know, those are very, very important skills for being any sort of head.
Trusting your heads to do what they need to do. Not really micromanaging them, because they're going to know. If they have questions, they're going to come and ask you. And you should be able to, again, switch hats to know what they're talking about and be able to understand what they're asking you and to be able to answer their question hopefully the best that you can.
Yes, and that whole note on micromanaging, I always like to use that as a little bit of a threat, because I can micromanage, because I had to do that in the military. I was made to, and I became pretty proficient at micromanaging, but I don't want to. So we can play stupid games all day with me micromanaging, or we can actually have a conversation and move forward and try to find a solution. So that kind of goes back to the whole thing with the last video with killing your darlings, letting your ego go. It's not about you, it's about what we're creating. And sometimes what you're creating, even though you're close to it, somebody else may have a better idea and have a better way of portraying it. That's why you need your test groups. You know, you need to get eyes on it, you need to get feedback, you need all those things. You know,
it's like even with us though too, it's like you'll do a lot of creative and then you'll come to me with the story, and then I'll think producer wise, like, okay, how does this work? And then that's something that we discuss about, you know, how to make it work.
Yes, exactly. So again, that's kind of going back to story, which is again where I feel my bread and butter is at. But if it's for you, it's for you. Testing out what you want to do and figuring out what you want to do is absolutely huge. You know, and then if you are going to be in a position where you have to switch hats, sometimes you have to take that mental step to go, okay, now I'm doing this. Okay, now I'm doing that. Because when everything starts to blend into one huge thing, all of it starts to suffer. And all those key positions, especially if you're holding multiple key positions, those key positions are going to suffer. So know your position, know your job, know where it is that the delineation of responsibilities are, so you can mentally switch over and go, okay, this is what I need to think of it from there. Because like you're talking about, like, oh, thinking of it from story as a producer versus a writer, your minds are in two very different places, right? One is the creative aspect, the other is for a producer, it's logically scheduling, logistics, all these other things that need to come into play that a lot of times throw story off, and vice versa. So again, being able to handle all that is a really, really important skill. You can build it up, but it takes years, and a lot of people's egos today will go, no, I could do it. I don't know who the hell are you to say.
I got this.
That's a 4-letter word phrase. It's like a 4-letter phrase. Sure.
4 letter?
Yeah, it's a 4-letter word is the saying. So yeah.
I forget that.
We hear a lot of people go, no. Like, we'll come up with something because we have the experience of going, it's gonna end up this way if you follow through with that.
It's like that Pikachu meme.
Oh.
It's gonna end up this way. No, I got this.
I got this. Oh, it did. Yeah. So again, we know these things are gonna happen. We speak up when we know these things are gonna happen because we've been through it and we have the experience for that. And something what we also do that we have our teams do, it's called an after action review. And it's something else I picked up from the military. And it's literally just a review of the project. of any project that we do. Hey, what was great about this project? Where are the areas that we need to improve? And what are we going to do for next time? And being able to do that has thrown us so far into being able to grow as filmmakers. It's like been fast on so many different things. So again, that's just going back to story. Hope everybody had a great week. And yeah, we're going to have to try to find something that we're going to review tonight. But yeah, because it was a late day.
And enjoy the beer.
And enjoy the beer.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink. So, all right. Have a good night and
Bye.
keep on creating, guys.